This is our lift system. It's the lightweight integrated field transport system. And it starts with this. This is a 10-ounce bag. When you pull it out of the package there, what you're going to get is an SSE bag. So it's designed for military operations. Our background is in special operations. Take down a house, collect evidence, throw it in the bag. That's the way we use it for. It can also be used as a multi-purpose bag for anything. It's made out of nylon ripstop. It's just like parachute material. It's very strong, very light. So 98% of the time you're going to use it as an SSE bag or as a multi-purpose bag. That's what it's designed for. When you do need it, you undo the Velcro that keeps the zipper up top. Comes down two sides. When you pull it out, you end up with a 6.5-foot stretcher. Soft stretcher, 5 handles each side. You can see here that there's supporting ribs that split it into 4 different segments. So that if you do catch it on a piece of barbed wire or something like that, put a large hole in it, you're not going to have total failure because these ribs are going to stop it. So you'll never have a catastrophic failure with this system. You'll still be able to get the guy out. Even with small holes in it, the ripstop material, we've loaded it up with 400 pounds, won't rip anymore. Okay? So, just like any other soft stretcher, as soon as you pick a guy up with a soft stretcher, you wish you had a different stretcher. So that's where we developed our combat carbon poles. Fold down tent pole style, just like this. Designed not to go below the waist or above the shoulders, so that facilitates getting in and out of vehicles, helos, all that kind of stuff, when they're collapsed and located on your back. Snap them together. Just like that. 1.6 pounds each will carry over 200 pounds. Then when you get to the end, it's got these little pull tabs. Tab goes right over the end, keeps the pole from separating when it's loaded. So, pretty simple to put together. You end up with a 3.5 pound semi-rigid litter capable of carrying 400 pounds. 400 pounds. So our corpsmen and our medics are actually carrying it in this configuration a lot. So they're going to already have it set up, and then you break it down together. So what this facilitates is that when the corpsman does get there, he can assemble this system in about 10 to 15 seconds. Just like that, stick it in a one-day assault pack, 3.5 pounds, 400 pound carrying capacity.
That's impressive.
We got tired of carrying all the other litters because they're too big, they're too heavy, and they only do one thing.
Too heavy, that's the key. Yeah, too heavy is it.
So, you know, hiking up 15,000 feet in Afghanistan, first thing that gets dropped, stretcher. Climbing in helos, limited space, first thing that gets dropped, stretcher. First thing you need as soon as somebody gets hit, stretcher. Done it so many times, we were tired of it. We designed something that works.
That's fantastic. What do you have in what's?
So, like everything else, we make it all multi-purpose.
Okay.
So, you got the poles that can do so many other things. You don't need them just as a stretcher. What we have here is a ladder attachment. Poles go right through the holes there on the ends of the ladder, and then it secures on the top and on the bottom. You get a 7.5-foot fully rigid ladder. Now your recce teams, sniper teams, all those guys have their ladders. They're carrying the poles for you, so they're carrying the weight for the stretcher later. Right? They're going to use the ladder every single op. When do you use a litter? Maybe 5% of ops you'll use the actual litter, but you're going to use a ladder every time. So your recce teams have 2 sets of ladders. You also have 2 sets of litters. Weights distributed evenly across the team. So a semi-rigid litter, great. It's a nice litter, gives you a lot of options. Not great for really working on the patient because he's cocooned up in that semi-rigid litter. So we developed a fully rigid litter. When it comes packaged, the rigid litter attachment, which uses the same poles, fits inside this bag. About the size of a laptop. Weighs only 4 pounds. inside here. Together with the poles, you're looking at about 6.5 to 7 pounds total weight for a rigid litter. Poles can be added to the bag on these little inserts here, but those also fold up and stick inside the bags for self-storage. So you don't have to have the poles. If your recce team has the poles, you don't need to carry extra. Your corpsman only carries this. About the size of a laptop, fits in every single medical bag. When you pull the rigid litter out, all you have to do is slide the poles right down the pole sleeves. They only go in at the feet. You can't put them in at the other end, but they can't go out the other end either. Very easy assembly. Just slide the pole down, grab the pull tab, slide it up and over the pole. Take the Velcro strap, secure the pole in place.
Thermal blanket holder.
The way we were able to fold it up so small is this Kevlar hinge technology that we developed. So each of these fold in half, and that allows it to accordion up and fold in so small. Bend one way, not the other way. The material we used here is a neoprene coated nylon. So you get blood or anything else on it, close it off. Right here you got an oral inflation valve on this head pillow. Supports the head. You can adjust the level of the head to put it in line with the spine. And then we have a forehead and chin strap to secure the patient's head down. The litter is designed to be hoisted. We're working on certifications right now. Comes up over the shoulder and up through the crotch, through the loop, back up over the other shoulder. Only one hook secures the patient. Adjustable right here. Down at the bottom here, a little leg securement strap. And then also an integrated Mylar blanket. Shiny on one side, black on the other. Pull the sheet up over, tuck it under the patient. If you tear it, you get blood on it, whatever it is, it's all Velcroed in, just Velcro it out, throw it away, put a new one in.
Very impressive.
6.5 pounds.
Pick it up.
400 pound carrying capacity.
That is impressive.
So each of these ribs have about a 200 pound carrying capacity. You got a 250 pound guy, he sits up on one rib, it might break. We designed it so it won't have a catastrophic failure. What happens is the hinge actually extends a little bit. That's where we designed the weakest link. The hinge will extend. It won't follow through all the way, but it'll extend. If that happens, you just untie the little 550 cord on each side, pull the rib out, put a new one in. You don't have to buy a new system. The whole thing, you can segment this down. If you break any one piece, you can just buy and replace that small portion. You don't have to buy a new litter.
It's all modular. Very nice.
So for under 12 pounds, you get an SSE bag, you get a soft litter, you get a semi-rigid litter, you get a ladder, you get a rigid litter, and soon coming out, we're actually taking two of these poles and making a connector to put two poles together. So you got a 15-foot extension pole that you can put up a caving ladder. So 12 pounds, and you've just replaced half the gear. You can't find another rigid litter for under 12 pounds.
Right.
You know, it just doesn't exist.
That's phenomenal. Well thought out.
So, like I said, you know, we experienced it, we used it, we got tired of it, so we fixed it.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
MATBOCK. Lighter, faster, warriors. Like us on Facebook or check us out at matbock.com.